Yeah, we see this in the context of leaders meeting in NATO there. We see the Ukrainian leader has a lot of fans, and he's also demanding, really, that Ukraine be admitted into that NATO alliance. Can you see that that might be provocative, or are we past that point?
There is no single country which deserves more than Ukraine to become a NATO member. This is what every soldier, every Ukrainian citizen, every Ukrainian mother or a child expects. Russia could invade Ukraine just for one reason, because we didn't have any protection. We were not part of NATO. And Ukraine's application to NATO was rejected in 2008. And in 2014, Russia invaded Ukraine because they could, and they've done it. And we believe that it's very important for Ukraine to get a clear indication of when we're going to join NATO. And that was our expectation. It was not the expectation of getting the accession immediately in Vilnius, but what President Zelensky, and that was his disappointment that he communicated quite clearly, was that we didn't get the timeline. A good achievement, though, was that the alliance and leaders have decided that Ukraine was going to skip the membership action plan, which is another more complicated procedure, and we will follow the route of Finland and the route that Sweden has been following on its accession to NATO. But this is where we are, and it was still, the meetings are still taking place. A lot of bilateral meetings are taking place, will be taking place today and yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, we saw a very short coup, if you can call that, the Wagner Group getting so close to Moscow. Now we find out that Vladimir Putin actually met with the leader of that group, Prigozhin, 5 days after. Vasyl, what does that tell you? We know Vladimir Putin is vulnerable. He's also ruthless.
Well, it shows me that he's very weak because from traitor to somebody that he called him a traitor, Prigozhin killed 22 Russian soldiers, shot down several helicopters and a jet, and then he's now being received by Putin for some negotiations and some talks. But look, coming back to NATO, and I think this is what Russia sees. Russia sees uncertainty, Russia sees weakness, and I think this is what emboldens Putin to move on. And we don't see any end to that because we don't see the confidence that we have to communicate. Because there's a confidence that the NATO alliance can communicate to Russia, which will make a difference. This is what's going to save lives, and this is what's going to stop the war. And that's a confidence which needs to be communicated clearly, because strength is in confidence. And once you demonstrate uncertainty, that's weakness, and Russia will use it.
Yeah, and I'm sure your president will be certainly communicating that to our Prime Minister later today. I think there's a meeting on the cards at Vasyl. Always good to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot for having me.